The candidate selection use case. The algorithm to display the status of the candidate selection, it will take two inputs, height and weight, and it displays whether the candidate is selected or not. Here also, the outputs are only the two possibilities, either selected or not selected. In such case, we can choose the if-else kind of the scenario. First, we need to read the height and weight, and then we need to verify whether the height is greater than 165 and weight is in between 60 to 80, then we can display the candidate is selected. Otherwise, we will display the candidate is not selected. End. We can also see the graphical representation of the algorithm that we discussed now. First, we start with, and begin is represented as a start symbol, and read and write symbols are represented as an parallelogram. Here we are reading the weight and height, and then we are going to check whether the height is greater than 165 and weight is in between 60 to 80. This is the decision box. Here we are making the branching among the two alternatives. One is the selected and not selected. If the height, if it meets the requirement, if the condition is true, then we'll go in this way and then execute the display selected, and it will terminate. If at all the condition is false, then it will go in this way and display not selected, and then it will terminate. Now let us see the execution for this flowchart scenario, whether the candidate is selected with a certain criteria or not. In the two of the conditions, one is his height should be greater than 165 and weight should be in between 60 to 80, then the candidate is selected. In this sort of the case, we need to read the two of the variables. One is in height and then other one is in weight. For reading these two values, we need to declare them. So in height, comma, weight. Now we need to give the user choice to input the values, printf, enter, height, scanf, %d, comma, ampersand, height. Similarly, printf, enter, weight, scanf, ampersand, weight. Again, I am just reminding you that ampersand resembles the address of the variable. Here the variable is weight, so whatever the value that is read from the scanf statement will only get stored when you mention this ampersand. So now the condition for the selection criteria is height should be greater than 165, and then second selection criteria, weight should be in between 60 to 80. So in that sort of the case, we will write down just like this: weight is greater than 60, greater than or equal to 60, and weight is less than or equal to 8. So we are having three of the cases. So and is represented with the logical and is represented with a double ampersand. So entire thing we just embed in the case and here. So now we just formulated what is the condition that we need to write for the selection criteria. So if this condition satisfies, then the candidate is not selected. Compile this program and then check whether this gets executed properly or not. Now let us enter the values for the height and then weight based on the selection criteria. 178 and then weight 65 should be a selected candidate. Yes, let us check again. 148 but the weight is 65, candidate is not selected. Let us check once again. 166 but the weight is 87, candidate is not selected. So our statement will work for all the scenarios that I just mentioned.